Friday, August 2nd, City Seed is hosting a Pie on 9, a pie contest and party in the 9th Square in New Haven. Here to tell us all about it is Chef Tegan Engel, the Community Food Systems Coordinator. This sounds fabulous. A party, a pie. Tell us the details.
Yeah, it's great. It's Friday, August 2nd in 9th Square. It's a partnership with Town Green Special Services District. They do a big on 9 party where they shut down Orange Street, and it's a big party in the street.
Great.
So this party is a benefit to raise money for City Seed's food stamp double value program. And we're asking people to make pie and also come down and eat pie and have fun in the street with us.
Now tell us about the City Seed program before we get going.
Sure. City Seed runs 5 farmers markets in New Haven as well as a mobile market. And all of the farmers markets accept food stamps. And this is a special program that we have funded by Wholesome Wave, where if people use their food stamps at the farmers market, they get double the value of them. So up to $10, we give them $10 more to spend on fresh, healthy food at the farmers market.
That'll promote healthy eating. I
That's
love
right.
it. All right, so today we're making a peach and blueberry pie.
Yes.
We're even going to make the crust.
We are, because the crust is
little
the
intimidating, right?
part for people, but really it's not that hard. So we're actually going to start with our filling. And
Sure.
because City Seed is a farmer's market, we are at all Connecticut grown farmers market. So we are using ingredients that are grown in Connecticut. Peaches are just coming into season, and blueberries are in the height of the season, kind of getting towards the end right now. So this is a great time to make a peach blueberry pie. So sometimes people peel their peaches for pie. I actually just take the easy way out and don't peel them. I do wash them. And you just kind of cut around the pit. Makes it easy. You want your peach to be ripe, not like
And
really
not
hard.
too mushy, right? But not too hard either.
That's right.
Okay.
It is going to cook, and it is going to have some sugar on it. So if it's a little firm, it's all right. So I just kind of cut around my pit, and then we're just going to cut it into about 1/2-inch thick slices.
Okay.
And I have some of them already cooked. Already cut over here.
Yes, a
And
whole bowl of them.
A whole
Tegan.
bowl of them.
Now, how many peaches should we cut up?
So it's about 2.5 pounds of peaches. It's about 7 peaches, depending on their size. And then we're just going to put our sugar on the peaches. And what that does is lets the juices come out of the peach. And so it kind of gets us ready for the nice juicy pie. So that was 1/3 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of just regular sugar. You can use less sugar if your peaches are really sweet. You can go down to about maybe 2/3 cup of sugar total for the whole pie.
Okay.
But our blueberries are a little tangy too, so we thought we would
sweeten them up a little.
Yeah, use a little sweetness. You can always use something like agave if you're trying not to eat too much sugar, and maybe just add a little more cornstarch. So we're going to let that just sit, and the sugar is going to bring the juices out of the peach.
Very good.
While we get over here to make our pie crust.
All right.
So pie crusts are intimidating for people.
Sometimes they are.
But they're really very simple. So all we are doing is taking some flour. We have 2.5 cups of flour.
Now, is this a pie crust that really would work for any sort of pie,
For
right?
anything, yes. I put a little sugar in this dough for when I'm doing a sweet pie, but if you're going to use it for a quiche, you just leave out the sugar.
Sure.
So I like to make my pie dough a little healthier and add a little nutty flavor. So I have a little bit of wheat germ to it, just about 1/4 cup, and the recipe is online, so there'll be all the measurements are there. Where are my measuring spoons? Here. 2 tablespoons of sugar for a sweet pie, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Now the trick to this pie recipe is you cut your butter into actually fairly large pieces. These are about 1-inch pieces. And then you put this in the freezer, and you leave it in the freezer for 15 minutes, so it gets really hard. The way you get a flaky pie crust is that your butter is all in little pieces. And if it's frozen, which we don't have time to do now, if it's frozen, then it will remain in little shapes, little pieces better. So we're just mixing our flour together. Let's get this going, and we're going to drop this, pretend this is frozen.
The frozen butter into
mixture. Into the flour. And then you're going to let the butter break up into about pea-sized pieces. It's all right if some of them are a little bit bigger. It'll just give you some little pockets of flakiness in your dough. And this is kind of an old school American recipe. You add about 1/2 teaspoon of vinegar to your water. And that kind of adds a little tenderness to the flour, and it doesn't add any flavor at all.
Got it.
Oh my goodness.
Now you're getting
this
messy,
mixer
Tegan.
is not working so well. All right.
Hey, let me ask you, I know that you teach a class how to be a pie ninja.
Yes.
What is that all about?
So I teach a class every fall over at Common Ground School where we show people how to do this with a mixture that's not flying pie flour all over the place.
Okay.
And we teach people how to make pies to help demystify it and make it easy
fun.
to do. So you're letting your flour kind of get your butter into pieces, little pieces about that big.
Okay.
Then you're going to add in your water all at once.
With a little bit of vinegar in it.
Just a little vinegar, just until it comes together. And this mixer is a little tricky.
All right.
So we're letting our dough come together into a ball.
Now, I know that you already have some that's
I do.
that's done because
All right, we're gonna
Leave
leave this here so we don't spend our time on that, and get our pie dough out.
Okay.
All right.
Now
so,
you would have to roll it out with a rolling pin, right?
Yes. So you would get 2 rounds of pie dough like this.
Okay.
You would use your rolling pin. Here, you nicely flour your counter. Roll out your pie dough. We'll just do this for speed's sake
And
here.
it's already done here. Okay.
Instant presto, here is our rolled out pie dough. And you take your pie plate. And after I roll my dough, I usually put it into the refrigerator for a minute to let it chill, because the coldness of the dough keeps the butter cold, and that's what's going to give you the flaky crust.
I see.
So
You've done this once or twice before.
I
huh?
have done it
Trial
once
and
or
error,
twice.
Tegan?
Yes, there's a lot of putting it in the fridge, taking it out, but it's actually, you just kind of want to keep the dough cold.
Okay.
So we are going to, this dough is quite cold.
Wow, no cracks or anything.
Your dough will probably be a little more floppy than this. All right, and
Can I help here with our mixture?
yeah, we're going to come back over here for a second. We're going to put
our
our blueberries in. We're going to add 2.5 tablespoons of
Is that powdered?
cornstarch.
Oh, cornstarch.
This
Okay.
is cornstarch, and this is what's actually going to thicken the mixture. When the mixture starts to boil inside the pie crust in the oven, it will get nice and thick, and the cornstarch is what does that. And we're also going to add about a tablespoon of lemon juice, and that just adds kind of a nice bright flavor
Okay.
to the pie. All right.
Looks good so far.
Here we go. So you would prick the bottom of your pie crust with a fork, which I don't have. So we're going to make some little holes, and that actually just helps the bottom of the pie crust cook. We're going to fill it with our beautiful, fresh Connecticut
Oh,
grown
it looks
filling.
fantastic.
All right. Now we're going to take our second pie crust. I'm going to just move this out of the way for a second. Now, when you're making a pie, you need to leave some little holes at the top for the steam to come out. Otherwise, your pie will just kind of explode out. So I like to use this cute little star
That's
cutter.
adorable. I love that idea.
You can just use a knife to make little slits, but I think the star is kind of fun. So I just kind of mark out the center and cut out some little star shapes. And we're
How
going to
great
save
is
these
that?
because we're going to decorate the top of, we're going to add them back on with a little egg white in just a second.
Oh, that's going to be
Right?
great.
And then we're going to drape this over the top of the pie.
What a clever idea. You just kind of, well, I guess I'm going to watch you how to do it. We have about
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Oh,
so a little
goodness.
egg white to make
Little
it shiny.
egg white. We're going to put our stars back on top, like this. And we're going to put this on top of our crust.
Well, you managed
then-
to make a pie in 5
We
minutes.
did.
That's pretty
We're gonna
impressive.
You would trim the edge, which I'm just going to show you quickly. Trim our edge like this, and just as if it went all the way around.
Got it.
So you can see it. You'd fold under the edge
That's
and press
that.
it down, and you can use a fork to do the edge,
I
or
love
you
it.
can
It's
crimp
beautiful,
it with
Tegan.
your
We're going to
fingers.
dig in at the end of the show.
All
And of
right.
course, City Seeds Pie on 9 is happening on Friday, August 2nd from 6 to 8 at 9 Square in New Haven. For more information, go to cityseed.org. Coming up next on Style, we're getting down and dirty with the annual Mud Volleyball Tournament. We'll be right back.